Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed.
Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. There are now 3 deaths among the Delta variant cases, according to the Department of Health. Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere revealed that a 63-year-old male returning overseas Filipino from MV Athens died on May 19. 78-year-old female local from Baybay Antique died on May 30, and 58-year-old female local from Pandacan died on June 28. She said the Antique fatality was initially tagged as recovered, and after LGU validation, they reported it as death. Vergere said all Delta variant cases are immediately reassessed to determine their current clinical, laboratory, and isolation status. Also, contact tracing done shall be reviewed to identify RT-PCR positive close contacts whose samples may be eligible for sequencing. Vergere added that testing with RT-PCR was advised by experts at the end of the 14-day quarantine. The United States government has successfully delivered a total of 3,240,850 doses of the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccines to the country as part of its worldwide effort to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Shipped on July 16 and 17, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine delivery was provided directly to the Philippines via the COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access or COVAX facility. This is the first time the Philippines has received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, a safe, trusted, and easy-to-store shot widely used in the United States. U.S. Embassy in Manila Chargé d'Affaires John Law and Acting U.S. Aid Mission Director Sean Callahan joined Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr., Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, IATF Chief Implementer Secretary Carlito Galvez, and National Economic and Development Authority Secretary Carl Chua at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport to welcome the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Prior to the Johnson & Johnson arrival, the Philippines has received more than 7 million vaccine doses through COVAX facility. The United States government is the largest contributor to the global initiative, having already donated over 100 billion pesos. The U.S. has worked closely with the Philippines throughout the pandemic to protect public health and support the local response to the pandemic. To date, the U.S. government COVID-19 assistance to the Philippines amounts to over 1.38 billion pesos, according to data provided by the U.S. Embassy in Manila. Accountants are crucial in the fight against corruption in government, according to President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The president admitted that the anti-corruption campaign was not easy, recognizing the need to examine a maze of documents to find irregularities. Duterte said he needed accountants more than he needs lawyers in carrying out such tedious tasks to root out corruption in government. Despite facing difficulties in the campaign against corruption, Duterte took pride in some accomplishments in cleaning up the bureaucracy. He mentioned the dismissal of over 40 immigration personnel implicated in the alleged Pastilla scam, the controversial scheme of extorting from foreigners in exchange for smooth entry to the country. More than 70 customs personnel have also been removed, according to the president. Duterte, who will step down next year when his 6-year term ends, previously offered to resign after expressing exasperation that corruption seemed to be endless in government. He later conceded that eliminating corruption was impossible. Tropical storm Fabian, with the international name Infa, has slightly intensified and will likely reach the severe tropical storm category, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA. Fabian was estimated at 1,055 kilometers east-northeast of extreme northern Luzon. It has reached the severe tropical storm category, packing maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 115 kilometers per hour. PAG-ASA also continues to monitor a tropical storm with the international name Sempaka. It is outside the Philippine area of responsibility, or at least 840 kilometers west-northwest of extreme northern Luzon. PAG-ASA said Fabian may become a severe tropical storm within the day and into a typhoon by Tuesday evening, July 20, or Wednesday morning, July 21. In Metro News, vaccines deployed in Manila hit 1 million mark. Orbos says sorry for cursing at Muntinlupa cops and traffic enforcers. And abandoned Valenzuela City seniors move into their new home. More from these reports.
The number of vaccines deployed by the local government of Manila reached 1 million on July 19, Monday. Out of more than 1 million vaccines deployed, 657,748 for the first dose and 342,273 for the second dose. Manila Mayor Francisco Escombrero de Magoso encouraged the public to help the government address the COVID-19 pandemic by getting vaccinated. In his third State of the City address, de Magoso said the city of Manila holds the national record for the highest single-day vaccination at 43,011, which the city achieved on July 5. Franz Luke Orbos, the motorist who cursed at Muntinlupa policemen and traffic enforcers over traffic violation and bragged about his father, has issued an apology over the incident. Orbos, listed as the son of former executive secretary and former Pangasinan governor and representative Oscar Orbos. His altercation with the Muntinlupa police and traffic enforcers happened last July 14 along Susana Heights Road in Barangay Tunasan. In an apology issued Sunday, Orbos admitted his mistakes and said it was different from the Christian values that his parents taught him. The Muntinlupa Prosecutor's Office ordered the release of Orbos as there is a necessity to conduct further investigation as there are matters that need to be clarified. The preliminary investigation is scheduled on July 30 at the Muntinlupa Prosecutor's Office. Abandoned senior citizens in Valenzuela City have found a new home at the Bahay Kanlungan, a newly opened home for the aged. Several photos shared by Mayor Rex Gatchalian also showed the senior citizens basking under the sun while doing their morning exercise. Many social media users were amazed by the local government's initiative. As of the writing, Gatchalian's post had already garnered thousands of likes and shares. The 4-story facility is spacious enough to cater to 75 elderly residents and adults with mental illness who were originally from Bahay Kalinga, according to the local government.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Bicol on alert for arrival of tugboat with COVID-positive crew. July 16 to 31 ECQ in Iloilo Province and Iloilo City more relaxed than last year's, according to Governor Defensor. And Philippine Coast Guard's radio challenge drives away Chinese Navy warship in West Philippine Sea. Let's check out the details.
The Office of Civil Defense said on Sunday that the Bicol Regional Task Force COVID-19 and the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council are on alert status for the arrival of a tugboat and a barge from Butuan City, reportedly with crew members infected with the virus. The agency raised the alert on Saturday after receiving a report that MV Tug Clyde and barge Claudia, who originally came from Indonesia, would arrive at a private port in Santo Domingo, Albay around 5 p.m. on Tuesday with 20 crew members, 12 of which are COVID-19 positive. The Office of Civil Defense has already gotten in touch with the owner of the vessel and assured the agency that the vessel and its crew would comply with all health protocols set by the task force upon arrival on Tuesday. Governor Arthur Defensor Jr. clarified that the Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ status for Iloilo Province and Iloilo City is not a lockdown. This after the national government's COVID-19 Interagency Task Force had placed Iloilo City and Iloilo Province under ECQ since July 16. The governor added that people should not be stressed and that it is not the same ECQ as last year. Under the new ECQ guideline, public transportation is allowed in Iloilo. There is also no border restriction while quarantine passes are not needed. Non-essential mass gatherings and the non-essential travel of those who are above 65 years old and below 18 years old are still prohibited. There is also a 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. curfew in Iloilo Province and Iloilo City. A Chinese Navy warship was forced to leave the Marie Louise Bank in El Nido, Palawan after personnel of Philippine Coast Guard radio challenge on July 13. The Marie Louise Bank is located approximately 147 nautical miles from El Nido, Palawan. Personnel of the BRP Cabra conducted a radio challenge while approaching and monitoring the distance of the warship using a radar system. Unable to hear a verbal response, BRP Cabra Commander Erwin Tolentino used long-range acoustic device to send verbal challenge to the Chinese warship. It was then the Chinese warship started to leave the area. However, the BRP Cabra followed the vessel to ensure that it left the country's exclusive economic zone. The PCG ships have also drove away 7 foreign fishing vessels believed to be manned by Chinese and Vietnamese fishermen off Marie Louise Bank in El Nido, Palawan on Wednesday, June 30.
In world news, EU says vaccine rate now higher than in the US. At least 34 killed in landslide and wall collapse in India due to monsoon rains. And giant 3D cats becomes Tokyo's latest photo hotspot. Details in these reports.
European Union leaders on Saturday celebrated their corona vaccination program reaching a higher proportion of its people than in the United States, which had outpaced the bloc for months. France's Europe Minister Clement Beaune wrote that the EU had now given 55.5% of the people a first dose, compared with 55.4% across the Atlantic. Brussels' strategy for rolling out COVID-19 shots was widely criticized in early 2021, lagging Britain and the US for lack of supply. EU had now overtaken its transatlantic rival while remaining open and exporting half of its production to 100-plus countries, hailing efficiency and solidarity on Europe's part. At least 34 were killed after several homes were crushed by a collapsed wall and a landslide triggered by heavy monsoon rains in India's financial capital, Mumbai, authorities said Sunday. Rainwater also inundated a water purification complex, disrupting supply in most of parts of the Mumbai, a mega city of 20 million people, according to authorities. The Indian Meteorological Department said early Sunday that moderate to heavy rain or thunder showers were forecast for the next 2 days. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted his condolences and added that there would be financial compensation for victims' families. At Tokyo's busy shopping and business area of Shinjuku, a giant 3D cat is displayed on a 4K billboard to greet people with a meow. The new ad space features a screen that covers an area of 154.7 square meters. Some students says the cat looks really cute and bigger than what they saw on social media. Passers-by are flocking to have selfie or photo with the huge cat, with many unable to believe how lifelike it is.
And now in entertainment, pop star Britney Spears announces that she is quitting show business. Let's find out why in this report.
Pop star Britney Spears got emotional as she vowed never to perform again until the issue with her father is settled. In an Instagram post on July 18, Britney said that the whole conservatorship issue with her dad has killed her dreams. She said that she's not gonna put on heavy makeup and perform on stage ever again. Britney added that her support system, apparently referring to her family, hurt her so much. She also said that for 13 years, her dad has been controlling what she wears, say, do, and even think. Britney also revealed that she doesn't like that her sister showed up at an awards show and performed her songs to remixes.
In sports, Filipino athletes officially start their bid for Olympic gold as they arrive at the Athletes' Village in Tokyo. Let's watch this report.
More Filipino delegates are entering the Athletes' Village with less than a week left before the 2020 Tokyo Olympics officially fires off on July 23. As of Sunday afternoon, weightlifter Elrin Ando, taekwondo Jin Kurt Barbosa, shooter Jason Valdez, their coaches and several officials from the swimming team arrived from Manila to join with the early Philippine delegation who arrived on Saturday. Weightlifter Hidilyn Diaz and her coaches were also seen on board their flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia on Sunday, as the bulk of the 19-strong delegation are expected to enter the village this weekend. World champion Carlos Yulu and coach Munehiro Kogiyama entered the Athletes' Village from their training camp in Japan, where Yulu has been based for the past years. Other athletes that are already in the village are boxers Nesty Petesio, Carlo Paalam, Irish Magno, and Yumir Marshall.
And those are the news on web today, July 19, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow, or you can log on to www.mb.com.ph, or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.